You know, I'm just kind of assessing the situation here. That video that I put up, this thing falling off the rack, had everybody and their brother and their dog and their pet coon tell me, oh, all you need is a fender in the bedside, it's fine. You know, well, it's a little more complicated than that. Bed is twisted, the doors, driver's side door is shot. I suppose this could be repaired, but why would you? I've got 2 good doors out there, so I'll replace them. It needs both doors. Yeah, you're right. I got one good fender. You're partly right. whoever made that assessment, well, however many hundreds of people made that assessment. That video's been seen 150,000 times. But there's other issues going on here. It's a little more complicated than just the bedside and the fender. You see, I'm not quite sure how to address this issue here. Now, this piece is cottage cheese, and you know that needs to be replaced. Anyway, I did that on my Impala 20 years ago. I ordered this piece, this cross member here, and I just cut it off and just used the end because the center was all good, and I welded that all in, and it's still there. I undercoated it, and it's still there, and it's still in good shape. So this I can handle. I know how to fix that. But boy, I'm not sure what to do here exactly. I don't know if I can. Yeah, see, that's ugly. That's ugly is what that is. That's ugly. Yeah, that's pretty ugly. But I got my body man. He's gonna come up this week and kind of advise me on this thing. He'll tell me exactly how to fix that. Yeah, I've got an idea about how to do that cab, and I'll let Harman tell me if it's right or wrong, but we'll take a look at it. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Wade & Wire's Old Iron. I want to dedicate this song to a fellow who made a comment on the last video. He said, you always ask people to subscribe to your channel, but you don't listen to your viewers. And I don't like that so-called singing and guitar playing. So this one's for you, my friend. This is the shortest song in the world. So there you have it. I'm just having a little bit of fun. You know, I had an ex-wife tell me a long time ago that she said, Ken, you don't mean to be, and you don't really try to be, but you're just a natural born smart aleck, and you just can't help it. And I suppose there's some truth to that, but you know, I try not to be malicious or mean-spirited. Just a little good-natured ribbon here and there, don't hurt anybody, and I can dish it out, but boy, I can sure take it. If you're gonna be a YouTuber, you better learn to take it, because there's gonna be a whole lot of it dished your way. But that's all right. You know, anytime there's something going on around here that you don't like, there's a magic little button on that mouse. You can click on that, and just one click, all your problems will be solved. So that's how that goes. Anyway, just having fun here. I like to have this channel be lighthearted and have a good time, and some people don't get my sense of humor, but most of you do. I mean, you keep coming back, and so some of you, a few of you. So I guess you get it. Anyway, I've been working on something in the shop today that I feel like is kind of important, and I'm going to share it with you right now. Hey, welcome to Rat Rodding. My name's Wade & Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel. Well, it's worse than I thought. My thought was to cut this out on the outside of this damage. There's a line right there where this is pushed in, and if I go just to the outside of that and cut this corner out and cut the one out of the donor and put that in there and weld that in, I thought that would probably work out better than trying to pull that out and fix it and all that. I ain't no body man, obviously, but cousin was up here and he started looking at it, and he pointed out that the cab's bent up here too. It's got a big crease in it right across here. But I'm gonna fix this truck because this is you know, this is not a show truck. It don't have to be perfect, but if I can start this scene probably right here, even if I have to drill out these spot welds and cut this section out here and put that in. You know, I've worked with metal a little bit, so I'm gonna fix it no matter what. So that's kind of where that's at. But Harman's gonna come up today and advise me a little bit on this truck, and I'll see what he says about that. I mean, anything can be fixed, right? It's just metal. So I've got metal and I've got a welder. All right, that's enough. I got some chores to take care of, but I'm gonna wait for Harman to show up. But I gotta get that motor out of here because I'm gonna need that engine hoist to pull the motor out of the Subaru Brat. And I need to knock that bed off of that chassis out there that this motor came out of, because I got that chassis sold. And this motor is on Facebook Marketplace right now. I can't believe somebody hasn't snatched that up for a rat rod motor. But you know, it's a different generation. Young people don't want this garbage. They want LS's, you know, and stuff like that. My other window did not get broke out over there, so I can use that. Oh, probably 20 years ago, a friend in Colorado had me send these windows to him, and he etched them for me. And this was back there in the era of another Chevy advertising campaign. So if there's any young guys watching this, you probably won't remember it, but most of you old guys my age will remember that. So anyway, I got to save my other window. Yeah, I think the hood's okay. I hope when I get the other fender on there that it'll pull everything back down. But I got some serious stuff to look at underneath there with Harman when he gets here. Okay. Harman came up and he looked this over and he goes, I was telling him what I thought about cutting this out, and he goes, well, that would work, but I don't think you have to do that. He said he's going to split it right here and pull this out and then hammer that in and weld it back up and smear a little bit of mud on it. And he said an 1/8 inch of mud don't bother me. And I said, well, don't bother me either. You know, we're not trying to make a show truck here. It's just an old work truck. But it was a pretty nice old work truck, and it will be again. He kind of was going back and forth on this bed, weighing out whether or not to swap the box. That's one way to go, but then there's so much prep work on the inside of that other bed, and this one's not bad. It's got, you know, there's some scratches on the tailgate and on the wheel wells, and that's fine. It's a work truck. You know, I used it grafting, even though I have another truck. Sometimes Victor had that one. I need to haul something. I'm not afraid to use this truck. So anyway, the other bed's going to take a lot of prep on the inside, and that's money we really don't need to spend. So he was going back and forth. Well, maybe we'll just replace that bedside, you know, and try to get this thing, it's twisted, and he thinks maybe we can straighten it up. So yeah, but he said he can fix his cab, and that was my concern. So here in the next couple weeks, I gotta get one of those other doors and get it fit up there, fit up on this, so that he can tell how far that needs to come out and everything. I'll get this strip rail off of here and all that. So yeah, he was very optimistic. You know, he's been doing it since 1966. He knows what he's doing. So I trust him completely. Okay, I can dig it. I can live with that. Yeah, 10 inches. 10-inch extensions. And that'll put me right on the frame instead of back here on this shackle where that's a big no-no. Pretty hard lesson to learn, but them hard ones we learn real good, don't we? Yeah, we don't do that no more. Okay, 9.5 inches. Actually, yeah, 9.5 would be fine. Shorter the better. Really, I could go a little bit more and not hit that tank. But then my front arms, nah, they still clear the bottom of the cab. You know, I'm gonna come up a little bit more. You guys watch that for me. Tell me when I'm getting real close to that tank. Okay, that's the limit on the front. You know, I've got about an inch clearance under the cab. Could go a little bit more. Go up just a little bit more. Okay, that's just about 8. I think I'm gonna go with 8.5. That way I'll clear the front cab real well. Clear the tank real well. This one cleared, but I don't know if that one clears. I don't have the arm pushed in on that side. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right. Since 2020, metal has gone up 300%. These two little 3-foot pieces of pipe cost me over $77. You know, I do not like doing repair work. I don't like repairing vehicles. I'm not a body man, and I kind of enjoy some of the engine work, I guess, but boy, I hate repairing stuff like this, especially doing it over and over. This will be the 5th time this truck has been restored since I've owned it. I bought it in 1986. But yeah, I don't like repair work. That's not what I enjoy doing. Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna walk around. Just bear with me. I'm gonna show you a couple things. See what the deal is. I'm kind of a scrap metal artist, and I like building things out of scrap. Oh, there's a couple things. You know, I started out just making little things, just little guys. You know, maybe a shovel crab or a shovel turtle or a T-Rex, you know, and then I graduated on up into making flutterbys and moved on into a little bit more in-depth stuff like this big old spider here. Yeah, he's a dandy. This is Motown here, by the way. Of course, up there's the band. There's old Alligator on the drums. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. There's a stand-up bass, dog picking a stand-up bass in the back, a washtub bass. And there's old Luther Perkins over there. Luther Perkins was Johnny Cash's guitar player. And then there, of course, is that's Louis Armstrong. You know how he always had his handkerchief and his trumpet. And there's his little mic stand made out of a strut. A couple little happy little swimming turtles right there. And then my art started to get bigger. My medium started to change. We've got this Venus flytrap here and some kind of flower. Oh, there's a couple of dragonflies in the trap there. And we move on up to this guy. He's kind of a, I don't know, kind of a dragon, I guess. A one-horned dragon or something, I don't know. He's got talons made of old PVs from the logging yard and a plow there for his main body and some probably green chain out of a sawmill. Got his talons are made out of, is that what those are called? Anyway, they're made out of C-clamps, and oh, there's just all kinds of stuff, and his nostrils flare up sometimes, you know, if he gets excited. So yeah, and then it got to be bigger yet, even bigger yet, and turned into this. And it just kept getting bigger. And bigger. And finally, it has turned into this monstrosity. So this is really what I like to do. I don't like doing repair work. I like creating. I like to create things with my hands, not just fix something that somebody else built or a machine built or whatever. I like to create with my mind and my hands. Jay Leno always quotes some guy that said the heart is never happier than when the mind and the hands work together. So I really want to be working on this because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy creating. But I just can't. I can't enjoy myself working on this. I can't just shove this stuff aside and ignore it. I've got to get, I don't like having things hanging over me, things undone. I like to have everything done up so then I can enjoy myself and I apply my creative side. So I gotta do this. I gotta get this out of the way. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it all right now because I'm not. Harman, he's retired, but he's got a project in the works. He still does work on the side. He said he'd be happy to come up every couple of weeks or something like that, or maybe he'd call me and say, hey, I'll come up and work 4 hours a day for 4 days this week, and whatever suits his schedule. I'm happy with that. And I told him too, I said, this old truck is just my old work truck, you know. It's not going to SEMA. You know, we're not shooting for the Riddler Award here. I just want my old truck back, you know, just my old work truck. This has always been my old work truck, and it was a pretty nice old work truck, but I hauled things in it. You see a few scars and scratches in there, and on the tailgate back there, you know, I don't believe in trailer queens. Boy, I was just getting ready to start driving the wheels off of this thing. This was going to be my daily. I was going to drive it to Montana. It'll be okay. It's just metal, and you know, I created this life for myself. I didn't have to do this, you know. I didn't have to have all these vehicles. I probably should have taken up knitting, you know, needlepoint or something instead of this. Nah, I love it. You know, I love the creative side of it. All right, let's get her did. I'll show you what I did wrong on this first one. I welded the cradle on before I put the inside pipe in. Well, then I couldn't weld it up like this one. See, this one's just laying in there, but I'm getting ready to weld this up real solid around there. So what I did to rectify my mistake, I drilled some holes on the inside in this pipe and plug welded it up in there, and then I drilled holes out here on the outside in this pipe and plug welded that all up, and that's fine. It doesn't have any weight on it or anything. It's just to keep it, make it sit solid in the arm like that. That's fine. That'll work. I offset this a little bit because somebody will say, you know, you didn't get it in the center, because I know my YouTubers. But I offset it purposely because that gas tank is real close to this. So this allows that to come over a little bit and catch the frame. And so yeah, that's the way I want it. I think that's going to work out good. Now, I'll go ahead and finish this one up. Then I'm going to make two little short ones for the front. I really don't have to have them on the front, but this big old heavy 3/4 ton truck, I think I'm going to go ahead and make them anyway, but it has to reach so high up in the back because that frame's kicked up back there. So I can just make little they'll only be about 4 inches tall, I think. But I'm going to finish these up, put them in place on the back, bring it up so it's just touching the frame, and then get my measurement on the front and go from there, and that'll keep the truck level as I pick it up. And as always, this is not a how-to video. I have never done a how-to video. Well, yeah, I have, for grafting. Kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to grafting. Believe that'll hold. Well, girls, there you have it. You know, I was kind of worried about this cable, but by offsetting that cradle, it just slides right by it. It's close, but it just goes right by it. It really worked out well. This one's pretty loose, but yeah, once it comes down below this, it just dropped down. Now I had another idea, but I'll show you this thing. Man, this thing is, boy, it's solid. It is solid. You can't move it a bit. It doesn't even wobble, not even a little bit. Now I was a little concerned about it being tail heavy because I'm picking it up here, but you know, that's a little ways from the diff back there. But you know, before I was picking it up here with a block of wood, and obviously that's a big no-no. Don't do it, guys. You know, the way these frames are made, you can't get, it kicks up back there, so you can't get a flat spot. So, and always before, without these extensions, with just your pads, well, you hit the tank before you get up to the frame. It's so far up in there. So with these saddle tanks on the outside of the frame, it makes it a little difficult. But anyway, I thought it might be a little tail heavy, but it's not. It's not tippy at all. And it's got enough engine weight up there in the front. It offsets this differential, and it really doesn't, it's not tippy. Besides, I've got some stands right here that I put under the front and under the back. These are a little funky. You know, these were sent to me, and I had never had any before, and I thought, well, that's pretty slick, you know, but I'm looking at some different ones out there, and I've ordered some better ones. And they're threaded all the way down. It's solid. It doesn't mess around with this stuff. And I think I'm just going to feel a lot better about them. Plus, they got a wider base. Yeah, but no, it's not tippy. And, Yeah, she's solid, boy. You can't move it a bit. But now I had even another idea about if I can get some light set up here where I can show you my thought pattern. So the idea I had, I thought if I needed any added protection, but it don't need it. Man, this thing, it just does not move. It doesn't even wobble. It is solid. So I'm liking that real good, but before I found out how well this is going to work, I had even thought about getting some big heavy metal. Now this is just thin. This is just a template, but I would use some big heavy wall steel, and I was thinking about welding something like that on there, and you could drop a big link chain in there and drape it over to the other side and drop it in over there, and that would also keep these arms from kicking out. Some of these lifts don't have locks like this one, and so that might be something to think about, guys. You know, just a thought. You know, I'm here to tell you things can happen, you know. But I think these turned out pretty good. And so it's just way more solid than I ever dreamed. So that's good, I guess. All right, I think that's about enough. I think we've accomplished what we needed to do here. Okay. It really means a lot to me that you do take time out from your busy day and watch my silly little old videos. And I hope you'll consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And I'll try to listen to my viewers. Anyway, we got some stuff coming up here as always. But I hope you'll come back and see us next week. And until then, I sure do appreciate you.